Yeah, I think our team's is a great resource for engineers when it comes to anything HSS related. I mean, we have national coverage in manufacturing facilities throughout North America, so our teams are super involved with anything HSS, from the manufacturing side to the fabrication side, and as well as our team in the engineering side. So we love being utilized as a resource and helping engineers when they're working on different HSS related projects.
So the primary thing that we do when approaching engineers is, A, we want to be helpful to them. So we're also always offering to come in, talk to them about HSS related topics, whether that be about connection design, availability, composite HSS. These are all subjects that we have presentations that we can do on. And then that's really just to educate and inspire them. But then as they have questions, they can come to us and we can be a technical resource for them to ask specific questions about something HSS related, whether it be connection or availability. If they have a project where maybe they don't know how to apply the HSS, they don't know where HSS makes sense, we can come in and give that kind of advice. We can look at a project type, we can say, all right, this is a project where we think HSS works here and here. And then they can do the evaluation to see if that makes sense. Ultimately, it's up to the engineer to decide what's best for their project, best for their client, and best for the load applications they have.
So, even if it seems like, a really basic question, or maybe it's the opposite, maybe it's so in the weeds, we want engineers to reach out, that we're here to help them in those situations. So whether it's, from the big picture, member design, frame design, system level questions about HSS, to particular connections they might have, we want to be available, and we encourage people to get in touch.
And I've heard everything from, well, you don't want to use the odd sizes, right? If it was an odd number, you don't want to use it. And that's just not true. And so we have things like our availability chart, which show you the sizes we produce and how often we produce them. There are lots of tools out there. Atlas has the availability chart. We color code our size range to indicate how frequently we make certain sizes. AISC has a tool on their website for all steel shapes, where you can put in a steel shape, a steel size, and it will show you all of the producers that make that size.
I think it's also worth noting, we're talking about this availability chart that we have, and obviously that is an Atlas availability chart, but we decide what material we're going to make based on what the market is demanding. And those market demands are the same for all the other HSS producers as well. So for an engineer, who's trying to figure out what shapes are going to be easily available, you can look at our availability chart and be reasonably confident that that's a pretty good guide to the industry as a whole. We have green shading for things that are rolled frequently. If we're rolling them frequently, it probably means other companies are rolling them frequently as well. The Steel Tube Institute has quite a few resources on their website. So they have, for example, I believe even spreadsheets that you can download. Certainly a lot of engineers will build their own Excel sheets for calculations they're doing frequently, but if you're doing a project with HSS and that's not what you do every day, then the Steel Tube Institute has some good technical design resources that are available.
We can offer that expertise. With our past experience, we can understand how the project is going to work, and where certain areas, whether it be columns, whether it be areas where you've got spandrel beams because they're going to be taking some torsion from exterior cladding. Those areas where you may not normally think of HSS, but we want to encourage you to do that. We can, come in and help sort that out for you and give you some advice that you can then go off and test and see how it works in your project.
Yeah, I think another important thing, when we're thinking about how engineers design projects, it would be great if an engineer could spend as much time as they wanted really looking at every piece of the project and optimizing it, until it's the most efficient it could possibly be. But the reality is, engineers have a lot of draws on their time. They have limited budgets within which to complete their projects, and so often, even if there's two directions you could go, it would be great if you could go down both roads, maybe 20%, and then check how the two designs are comparing, which is lighter, which is easier to build. But realistically, that means that you're taking longer to design the whole project. And that's, it's not great for business, right? So what we want to do is, offer our services to basically help engineers go down those parallel paths in the beginning so that they can make a more informed choice between systems for a given project.